Imagine this with me. You're 35 years old, decent job, clean apartment, reliable car. Your parents think you made it. Your friends think you're stable. But at night, when the noise finally fades, you feel it. The quiet panic, the tight chest, the thought you never say out loud. Is this it? Every January, you swear this will be the year. You download the gym app. You buy the supplements. You save the motivational reels. You tell yourself, I'm done being average. And for a few days, you believe it. By February, the alarm gets snoozed. The gym bag stays in the trunk. The treadmill becomes a memory. It's back to pizza, Netflix, and TikTok at 2 a.m., scrolling through other people's lives while your own stays frozen. And the most dangerous lie you tell yourself is this: I'll start again next month. You're not lazy. You're not unlucky. You're not broken. You are trapped. Trapped in what I call the loser mindset. Not because life crushed you, but because you refuse to change. And today, I'm not giving you motivation. I'm giving you the truth, the uncomfortable truth, the kind that either wakes you up or makes you hate me. Because escaping a loser life doesn't start with inspiration. It starts with war. Why most people are losers and don't even know it. Let's talk numbers. America spends over $33 billion every year on gym memberships. By March, nearly 80% of those people quit. The weight loss industry, over $70 billion a year. And within 5 years, 95% of people gain the weight back. That's not a motivation problem. That's a commitment problem. People don't actually want change. They want the feeling of starting. They want the fantasy of a new version of themselves without killing the old one. Now meet Mike, 32 years old, corporate analyst in Chicago, good salary, no debt, no real problems. Every Monday, new week, new me. He downloads MyFitnessPal, buys protein powder, hits the gym 3 days in a row. Day 3, shirtless mirror selfie. Caption, Day 3, who's grinding? Likes roll in, dopamine hits. By Friday, happy hour with coworkers. 1 drink won't hurt. 2 IPAs, nachos, wings. The 1,200 calories he burned all week, gone in 20 minutes. Sunday, too sore today, I'll go tomorrow. Monday becomes next Monday. Next Monday becomes next month. 2 months later, same body, same excuses, same frustration. Mike doesn't fail because he's stupid. He fails because he uses effort as entertainment. Starting feels productive. Sticking with it feels painful. And Mike is not the exception. Mike is the average. Now cross the country to Los Angeles. Meet Sarah, 28 years old, dreams of being an influencer, talks about building a brand. She buys a $500 microphone, records 2 podcast episodes, gets 73 views, no sponsors. Life got busy. The mic collects dust. She switches to TikTok, 50 videos, 200 views each. The algorithm hates me. She quits, goes back to scrolling other creators doing what she was too impatient to finish. Mike, Sarah, different cities, same pattern. They're not bad people. They're not failures on paper. They are comfortably miserable. They choose distraction over discomfort, fantasy over discipline, applause over progress. They don't refuse change loudly. They refuse it quietly by choosing comfort every single day. The 2 types of people, flirt versus warrior. Every single goal on earth only has 2 kinds of starters, the flirt and the warrior. The flirt is 90% of society. They flirt with change like it's a hobby. They join CrossFit for the group chat. They eat clean for 2 days and DoorDash Chick-fil-A for 5. They call it balance. They post the workout. They post the smoothie. They post the vision board. But they never post the consistency. Their real goal isn't transformation. Their real goal is to feel productive for 72 hours. Now the warrior moves in silence. No announcement, no countdown, no watch me change speech. They treat the gym like a 2-year contract. They track every calorie. They show up even when motivation is dead, especially when motivation is dead. Progress photos locked in a private folder for themselves only. They don't train for likes. They train for escape. Now a real story from my old gym in Dallas. Tom and Jake, same age, same starting weight, same New Year's resolution. Tom, corporate sales. January 1st, signs up. Week 1, perfect attendance. Week 2, burns 700 calories, celebrates with a double meat Whataburger. Week 3, minor soreness, skips leg day. Month 2, cancels membership, blames the trainer, blames genetics, blames work. Jake, silent. No headphones, no posting. Every macro tracked. When cravings hit, he drank water, dropped, and did 50 push-ups in the parking lot. 18 months later, Tom looked the same. Same desk, same complaints, same regret. Jake lost 60 pounds, promoted twice, different posture, different confidence. Dating the woman Tom always talked about but never approached. The difference wasn't talent, it wasn't money, it wasn't genetics. It was one sentence Jake decided in private. I refuse to stay this version of myself. The science of self-sabotage. Your brain's dirty tricks. Why you keep destroying your own future without realizing it. Your brain doesn't want your success. It wants your comfort. It evolved for survival in caves, not domination in cities. And every time you try to change your life, your brain quietly pulls out a knife and stabs your discipline in the back. Here's how it does it. 1. The novelty dopamine crash. Day 1 of a new goal feels electric. New gym, new shoes, cold air, mirror pump, music loud. Your brain floods dopamine like you just won the lottery. Day 10, same treadmill, same wall, same sweat. The dopamine disappears. Your brain whispers, this is boring. You already tried. You deserve something fun. You think you lost motivation. No. Your brain simply stopped rewarding novelty. Most people don't quit because it's hard. They quit because it's no longer new. Warriors understand this. They don't chase excitement. They train when the room feels dead. They don't need dopamine to start. They use discipline to force dopamine to follow. 2. Instant gratification wiring. Inside you lives a 10,000-year-old caveman. That brain wants sugar, salt, sex, comfort, now. Delayed reward feels like pain to that system. Six-pack in 12 months? Torture. Promotion in 3 years? Torture. Wealth in 10 years? Impossible. So the caveman takes over. Pizza beats protein. Porn beats real connection. Scrolling beats studying. Netflix beats sleep. And every time you choose the short hit, you reinforce a neural pathway that says, future me doesn't matter. Warriors deliberately reverse this wiring. They stack pain on purpose. Cold showers, hunger, heavy sets, rejection, night work. They teach the brain a new equation. Pain now equals power later. And after months, their brain begins to crave discomfort. That's how real rewiring happens. Nasha 3. Cognitive dissonance. The mind's favorite lie. You know you're overweight, but you love pizza. That creates mental pain. So your brain doesn't remove the pizza. It removes the gym. Why? Because guilt is heavier than fat. So instead of solving the real problem, your mind deletes the reminder. You quit the gym. Stop tracking. Stop weighing yourself. Guilt disappears. Problem solved. Body still broken. This is why people ghost their goals. Not because the goal is wrong, but because awareness hurts. Warriors do the opposite. They increase the pain of awareness. Daily weigh-ins, progress photos, public commitments, brutal self-audits. They refuse comforting lies. They choose brutal clarity. 4. The goal flexibility trap. A famous Harvard behavioral study found something terrifying. People with flexible goals, gym 3x a week if possible, succeeded only 20% of the time. People with rigid, non-negotiable goals, gym 6x a week no matter what, succeeded nearly 85% of the time. Flexibility feels healthy. In reality, it is the doorway to excuses. Rain becomes a reason. Work becomes a reason. Mood becomes a reason. Rigid rules don't care about moods. Warriors don't ask, how do I feel today? They ask, what is the contract? The Sisyphus Trap, Modern American Edition. Albert Camus described Sisyphus, a man cursed to roll a boulder uphill every day. At night, the boulder falls. Next morning, he starts again. That myth is no longer Greek. It is American. Financial Sisyphus. You pay off $2,000 of credit card debt. You feel grown, responsible, free. So you celebrate with a new iPhone on a payment plan. Boulder back at the bottom. Minimum payments resume. You're not progressing. You're cycling. Relationship Sisyphus. You swear off toxic exes. 3 months of peace. Then Friday night hits. Loneliness whispers. Old patterns wake up. Different face. Same chaos. You didn't change your standards. You just changed the name. Career Sisyphus. I'm going to freelance. You apply to 5 gigs. 2 rejections. 3 silence. You feel exposed. Back to the cubicle. Back to complaining. Back to waiting for Friday. You didn't fail forward. You retreated to familiarity. Sisyphus didn't love the summit. He loved the motion without freedom, effort without escape. Just like your Peloton subscription collecting dust in the corner while you keep paying monthly. Movement, no transformation. That is the modern curse. The tamas monster. Why paradise becomes prison. In Eastern psychology, there is a force called tamas. It is not depression. It is not fear. It is comfortable stagnation, a gravity that pulls people downward, not through pain, but through ease. Here's a real example. A kid gets into the University of Michigan on a full scholarship, $60,000 per year covered, Olympic pool, free rock climbing. World-class professors. Guest speakers worth billions. The kid lives in a dorm room that smells like 3-week-old Chipotle bowls. Door shut 18 hours a day. Fortnite rank diamond. GPA 2.4. Not sad, not angry, just stuck. Drop him in Hawaii with free surf lessons? He would still stay inside playing Call of Duty. Another real story. Full ride to UT Austin. Parents drove BMWs, connections everywhere. Roommate begged him to join the entrepreneurship club. Too tired. Graduated. First job? Starbucks barista. 3 years later, still there. He didn't escape hell. He carried hell into heaven. That is the Thomas monster. Give a Thomas person, a trainer, meal prep, life coach, perfect city. They still say, not feeling it today. They do not fear pain. They fear movement. Loser excuses and how warriors destroy them. Listen carefully. Your future is secretly decided by the excuses you accept as valid. Excuse 1. I tried and it didn't work. Warrior, you flirted for 2 weeks. Warriors sign 2-year contracts with themselves. Excuse 2. I don't have time. You had 3 hours for Instagram reels. Time exists. You misallocated it. Excuse 3. Life got busy. Life is always busy. Winners win through chaos. Excuse 4. I'm not motivated. Motivation is a reward for discipline, not a prerequisite. Excuse 5. I deserve a break. Losers take breaks from life. Warriors rest after they conquer. Every excuse you repeat trains your nervous system to retreat. Every excuse rejected builds a spine inside your personality. Real stories. Warriors who refused loser status. Proof that the human limit is a lie. If dignity is on the line. History never remembers comfort. It only remembers those who refuse to stay weak. Let me show you the kind of people who didn't wait for perfect conditions. They bled into change. The eyelid warrior, when quitting isn't an option. In the Mahabharata, there was a general named Bhishma, so old, his eyelids drooped even in the middle of battle. Arrows were flying, men were dying, and his greatest enemy was sleep. So he did something that sounds insane. He pierced the skin above his eyes, tied his eyelids open with rope, and kept fighting. 18 days of war, no blinking, no rest, no retreat. Not because he loved pain, because his duty mattered more than comfort. Now fast forward to modern America, Atlanta. Single mother, 2 kids, night shift nurse. She worked 7 p.m. to 3 a.m., came home exhausted, slept for 1 hour. At 4 a.m., she sat at the kitchen table and studied for her paralegal certification until 6 a.m. every day for 2 years. No weekends, no social life, no sympathy. Divorced, bills stacked, kids sleeping in the next room. Today, senior partner in a law firm, kids in private school, mortgage paid, different bloodline. Her eyelids weren't tied with rope, they were tied with purpose. Shaq the Pashupati story, the man who carried prison into heaven. His name meant Lord of Animals, and he lived exactly like one. Dorm room smelled like sweat, garbage, and rot. Dirty plates stacked like history layers. Campus outside offered world-class professors, elite networking, startup incubators, study abroad programs. He took none of it. His girlfriend called him my beast. 4 years passed like a cave life. Graduated. First job, night security guard. Graveyard shift, watching other people live. Here's the lesson. You can take a loser out of hell, but if he doesn't change his identity, he will rebuild hell inside heaven. Opportunities do not save people. Character does. Wajid Isha, defeated by shoelaces. Last king of Lucknow, British army marching, kingdom collapsing, history calling. Servants rushed to dress him for battle, and he said, "Who will tie my shoelaces?" Minutes passed, no one came. He sat there, waiting, while the kingdom fell, lost a throne not to an army, but to delayed action. Today's version? A man who skips a job interview because the tie didn't look right. A woman who delays launching her business because the logo isn't perfect yet. A boy who waits for confidence before starting discipline. They are not unlucky. They are self-defeated. The loser anatomy, 7 dead giveaways. You don't need to guess who's winning at life. The patterns are always the same. 1. Celebrate starting day 1. Never day 365. Dopamine from starting, none from enduring. 2. Justifies sabotage. I earned this pizza. After destroying their own goal. Rewarding weakness teaches the brain to repeat it. 3. Blames the outside. The algorithm hates me. My boss is unfair. My family held me back. Blame feels protective. It is actually slow poison. 4. Comfort in misery. Complains daily. Never resigns. Never risks. Never jumps. Misery becomes familiar. Familiar becomes safe. Safe becomes a prison. 5. Flexibility. Fetish, I'll try 3 workouts a week. Real meaning, I'll quit when I'm uncomfortable. 6. Audience approval addiction lives for likes, dies for results, applause replaces achievement, and nothing real gets built. 7. Repeat cycles. January gym, March quit, repeat for 10 years, same dreams, older body, deeper regret. Time never changes a loser. Decisions do. Your 90-day loser escape blueprint. This is where fantasy ends and war begins. Do not modify this. Do not negotiate this. Follow it like a court order. Phase 1, intention lock, days 1 to 30. You kill the old identity first. 1, write 2 obituaries. 1 if you never change. 1 if you fully transform. Read both every morning. 2, delete 5 dopamine apps. Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, Tinder, any game. Withdrawal is part of the process. 3, phone wallpaper. Flirt or commit. 4, choose one goal only. Body, skill, income, not all 3. 5, tell 3 people, hold me accountable or cut me off. Social pressure becomes your leash. Phase 2, pain embrace, days 31 to 60. You teach your nervous system that quitting costs more. 1, when quitting urge hits, 10 burpees. Immediate punishment. You must interrupt retreat. 2, track pain wins. Craving resisted, +1. Workout completed tired, +1. Sleep sacrificed for discipline, +1. No rewards for 30 days straight. Break the chain, day count resets to 0. Pain teaches seriousness. 4, weekly audit question. Did the boulder roll back this week? No lies allowed. Phase 3, warrior proof, days 61 to 90. Your new identity becomes visible. 1, before-after proof, private first. You don't reveal transformation until it is undeniable. 2, scale difficulty, double training load or double skill hours. 3, find one mentor, one chapter ahead of you. 4, celebrate only with non-escape rewards, a book, a course, new equipment, never food, never alcohol. Daily non-negotiables, all 90 days. Wake 5 a.m., cold shower, 10 minutes of silence or meditation. No screens until workout or study or first income task is done. Night journal. What did I refuse to lose today? Bed by 10 p.m. No motivation required. Only obedience to the system. Dignity vs. self-esteem, the real prize. Self-esteem is rented. New watch, fresh haircut, motivational quote, gone by tomorrow. Dignity is forged. It comes from wrestling your weakest self until one of you breaks. That Marine who ran 20 miles on a fractured ankle? Dignity. That entrepreneur who went bankrupt 3 times and still pitched again? Dignity. That father working 3 jobs so his kids never beg the world for mercy? Dignity. You feel dignity when pain hits and you don't flinch. Losers collapse under pain. Warriors glow inside it. Final line for this series, climax. Your life will never change until staying the same becomes more painful than change. And the day that switch flips inside you, no force on this earth can return you to who you were.